When I began my journey in education, at that given point of time, that was about 38 years ago, knowledge was very important. A lot of focus was given on rote learning. But now, in this century, we do not need children who can just rattle knowledge. The concern today is how do we instill the 21st century skills such as compassion, self discipline, honesty, sharing, caring. And for that, we need holistic learning. As an educationist and as director of many school programs, I believe early years and primary years are very important years. Most of the learning, most of the habit formation happens in these few years. And once they get into those habits which are formed in the early years, it will take them through in the long years. When they become professional, they will be able to adjust themselves better in this century, and they will find jobs for themselves. What is also something very important for us to understand is if the program which is being delivered in school is not interesting, is not activity based, is not something which involves the learner, then the learner will lose interest, and we will lose on these beautiful years where the child could have benefited the most. Many of us, I would say, sometimes unknowingly focus a lot on rote learning without understanding the importance that unless a child does not know how to get there, how will child enjoy that walk? How will the child know the importance of that walk? How will the child take interest in the future learning? Because most of the time in my journey, I have seen we mostly push learners to get disengaged. So we need to have programs integrated, which kind of is married with our curriculums, so that there is a balance and so that learning is happening holistically and kids are enjoying. So, in my journey, I have come across many programs, and I'm sure every program is as beautiful. So, this Japanese learning style, which out of where this program has been brought from, is one of its kind. It's very unique in its nature. It has all those good points which we as educators must instill in our children. We have to learn discipline, learn it from Japan. I tell it to the world because that is one country where discipline is of very high order. I don't want to demean any other country. I'm sure every country is beautiful. I'm sure every country is doing that. But the way they do, the way they inculcate these practices in young children, the Japanese style is a little different from the world. And if we can incorporate that in our schools, in our country, and if we all as educators get deeper into it and ensure that it is introduced in our schools, it will help our children become more disciplined, more settled, and more happy. So, it's a very beautiful part of Shin program I'm going to share with you all now. It begins with our teachers, because if, as an educator, we introduce something in the school which is new, there are always apprehensions because most of the time we have this fear of unknown, and they always feel we'll have to do that extra work. But the beauty of this program is the way it is initiated. The company first makes the teachers comfortable. Unless teachers don't understand the importance, they will not be able to deliver in the classrooms. So they hold hands, they visit themselves, they give the evaluation to the head of the school as to where have they reached, how have they reached, and what more can be done, what more challenges can be given to the students more, and how teachers can be taken to the next level. In my school, teachers just loved it. In fact, they wanted it every day. The moment you do these activities with children, it settles them. It gives them that feeling of fulfillment. And the moment you see your learners happy, you as an educator, you start celebrating and you enjoy. When the teachers came to me that why can't we have more of these classes, it was purely because the students were asking more. In Hindi, we say dil mange more. That means we want more. Our heart needs more. Why? Because students were so excited the moment they would hear, oh, it's the Shin class. They were given goals and they would together reach that goal, which gave them the feeling of fulfillment. Children become more settled. They become receptive. They are more calm, which in turn made them very happy. And of course, while they were doing all this, they were learning so many skills. Giving that happiness to our children, they are honing those skills which we call 21st century skills, which we talk about values, which is instilling in them. I think this is something which we should have more in our classrooms and will make our children very settled. Shin program was also very well received by the parents because when students would go back home, they would talk a lot about it. In our school, what we did was that we did have a town hall where we introduced the parents to this beautiful Japanese style of learning. We did give them a little insight to the program. So parents were really intrigued by all this, and they said that they are doing something very special. They're doing something very interesting. The school is very good. So schools will only become good if we integrate good programs with us. If we try and get the best practices from across the world into our classrooms. And that's what happened when Shin program was initiated, and when the teachers started enjoying, the students started enjoying, the students carried a positive message at home, the parents were happy, and it automatically had an effect on the school. They started getting fonder of the school. I've seen that change in students when it comes to their attitude, when it comes to their learning, when it comes to their happiness quotient, which is very important because learning can only stay with us if we are happy. And we all know Japan and its integrity and its honesty and the way children are disciplined there. It cannot be easily matched with any country. So I feel that this should be integrated by everyone. I may sound that I am being very, very partial towards this program. No, I'm not. And as an educator, I've seen that and I'm totally convinced. And I think this Japanese program, this learning style is beautiful. It's something which we all must integrate in our program.